Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Ronald Bledsoe was arrested. Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
28-year-old Texas resident Christian Cortez was seen on video inside the Capitol with his friend and fellow January 6th defendant, Benjamin LaRocca, or LaRocca. I think I called him LaRocca in his sentencing video, so I'm going to stick with that. So after exiting the building, Cortez was captured on video confronting officers as other members of the mob were attempting to break down the Capitol doors. So they went in, came out, then they have this interaction with the police, and officers were at the time fighting with others in the mob. They were trying to secure the Capitol doors because they had already been breached. And when Cortez was seen and heard on video, he was yelling, quote, "Fuck you, oath breakers, you're a fucking oath breaker." Later in the video, Cortez was seen standing just outside of the doors screaming, quote, "Do it. We're just standing here. Fucking A, we're just standing here." He then slammed his flagpole that he was carrying on the ground, and he took a step toward the officers, so kind of in a threatening manner. At that point, one of the officers sprayed Cortez with a chemical, and then Cortez began thrashing his arms up and down, they said, in this, like downward motion, while repeatedly yelling, "Do it some more, do it some fucking more." So officers responded to Cortez by then spraying him with a fire extinguisher. Later, Cortez posted a selfie on Instagram, which showed him standing in front of a line of officers, and he captioned it, quote, "Just hanging with the besties." And in response to a comment below that picture, Cortez wrote, quote, "We were not the violent ones, but definitely got fucked up. I will fight for your freedom until I die. I swear it." When the FBI interviewed Cortez following the Capitol attack, he told them that he was just standing near the door and he was trying to help the officers. So, I thought Cortez was willing to fight until he died. He swore it. I'm so confused. So Cortez was arrested on March 26th of last year. He was indicted on charges of obstructing an official proceeding, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. In May of this year, Cortez pleaded guilty to the felony charge of civil disorder, and he was looking at up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and up to $250,000 in fines. Surprisingly, Cortez didn't have a criminal history. And in a letter to the judge, Cortez completely backpedaled. He said, quote, "At the time, I believed I was doing the right thing. Reflecting on my actions, I understand that it was not my place, and my very presence interfered with the officers who were doing their jobs. These officers were understaffed for the size of this incident, and by being there, I only contributed to these hardships." The judge in this case was Tanya Chutkan, and she has been one of the toughest January 6 judges so far. I unfortunately couldn't locate any details about what was said in court, but Judge Chutkan ended up sentencing Cortez to 4 months in jail, 3 years of probation, 60 hours of community service, and a $2,000 restitution fee. So Cortez received twice the amount of time behind bars as his friend did. And honestly, I think this is fair. I've always said 3 to 4 months for the nonviolent offenders. He gets a little taste of what he's going to endure if he does this again. And probably most important, he's going to be on probation during the next presidential election, just in case he forgets. So anyway, guys, when and if I hear more, I'll let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.